right, Junkie Nation, don't forget, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 5:30 a.m. Pacific on BR Live, Inside the Matrix, 4 title fights. And we got another one of the world champions here. It is Christian Lee. He's going to be defending his belt against Iuri Lapicus. What's up, Christian? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right. We really appreciate your time. I know it's fight week. The hydration, this is the tough part, man. So thank you for hanging out with us here. We'll try and make it short and sweet. But listen, I wanted to ask you, Iuri Lapicus, we were kind of getting a little bit of a breakdown of the fight with the play-by-play of one championship, Michael the Voice Chavello. And, he's saying, hey, this is going to be an awesome fight. I mean, that's the way it should be. He's definitely earned his way there. He's undefeated. But what he was saying was the first 90 seconds, Christian Lee's going to be figuring that puzzle out and then seeing how comfortable he can get. So, because after that, after you figure these puzzles out, that's when all of a sudden you go to work. Is it something like that for you, Christian? Do you feel like it's the same way as he described it?
I think that the first 90 seconds is when Iuri's going to be the most dangerous. So I see that anywhere past that 90-second point, that's where he's going to start to fizzle out, and that's where I'm really going to take over. But my plan is to just go ahead and bring the fight to him from the bell, right from the get-go, and I think we're just going to meet right in the middle and clash early.
What is it like when the aggressor gets kind of like bullied, we'll say, in that you either run to the center of the ring, the cage, wherever it is that you're participating, and all of a sudden put the pressure on them? What do you feel like happens to the fighters that do tend to come out aggressive when you can like flip the script on them?
I think it's kind of like when the bully gets bullied, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to react. And I feel like that's what's going to happen on Friday night with Iuri Lapicus. He's used to steamrolling through his opponents. He's not used to getting pushed around the ring. So when I step in there with him, I think he's going to experience something he's never felt in all of his 14 fights.
Now, this is a different type of title fight because we're going through a pandemic. They're going to allow 250 people in the audience. So, it's not going to be your typical event. Are you somebody that shuts that out anyway? You just listen to your corner and that's it? Or do you ever feed off of the crowd? And is that something you think you might miss?
No, for me, when I started fighting, there was no people in the crowds anyways. I never focus on any outside noise. I just focused on exactly what it is I plan to do in the ring that night with my specific opponent. So, it doesn't matter whether there's, 200 crowds or 200,000. For me, I'm always going to be focused on my goal.
We were talking earlier with Michael Chavello about your family and just how this is something that you've done at a very young age and you've been able to be successful at it. Do you ever think people underestimate you, though, because of your age?
I do. I think that, the fact that I'm 22 years old, I'm coming up from the featherweight division. I feel that many people still feel that, they got a chance at taking the belt from me. But I put in the work. I've been training in martial arts my whole life. I've been training for this moment my whole life. And I feel that right now I'm still just at the cusp. I'm right at the beginning of my career. And, I have so much room to grow as a fighter, as a martial artist, and I still feel that as of right now, I'm levels above everyone else in my division. So I feel that many people overlook me, but it's going to be a big mistake for them.
There is a third Lee now in one championship. Do you ever see a scenario where all three of you could fight on the same card? Is that something that you would like, or would it be too stressful?
I do see it as a possibility. My sister and I, we grew up competing and sharing the same one cards early in our careers. And then even this past event in Tokyo, we shared the card as well as the co-main and main events. So I could definitely see it playing out in the future. But I mean, we'll see. It's a lot of stress for our family. But if the stars align for it, I think it'll make for a big solid event.
Now, you've already accomplished some goals, and at a very young age, you've won a Grand Prix, you've won a world title, you obviously have a title defense coming up. But what are your overall goals in the sport of mixed martial arts?
Um, for me, my overall goal in the sport of mixed martial arts is just to eventually work my way towards being the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. You know, I'm not gonna um, I'm not gonna just limit myself to the lightweight division. I plan on fighting the best fighters out there. So, whatever division that may be, or if we can make a super fight to other organizations, I'm all for it. I'm just looking for new challenges, new oppositions, and I want to prove to the world that I'm the best.
Now, I know you're part of, you do training at Evolve in Singapore and then in Hawaii as well. But we want to get familiar a little bit with your team. Like, where can you confirm that? And where do you do all your training? And who are some of the coaches that you can tell us about?
Yeah, Evolve MMA is an affiliate gym of ours. Whenever we're here in Singapore, they welcome us like a second home for them. But my main gym is home in Hawaii. I was trained my whole life by my dad. He's my head coach, and he's the guy that I give all of my credit to. He's trained me. He's taught me everything that I know, and so when it comes to martial arts and when it comes to everything that I've known and everything that I've grown to develop in the cage, it's all from my dad, and I give all the credit to that guy.
Oh wow! So he holds it down with everything, like the wrestling, nutrition, strength and conditioning. It's all a family affair.
Yeah, absolutely. I have 100% trust in my dad, and we have a great relationship. He's an amazing coach. He also is our manager, and then he just helps us with everything. And for me, my sister, we just put all of our trust into our dad, and he's been so great in helping us with our career so far. So we have no reason to fix anything that's not broken.
For sure, you guys definitely have a lot of success. And as you were talking, I was listening for sure, but I was thinking, wow, I don't know if it's a Hawaii thing or what, because we have Ray Cooper on a lot from PFL. His is a family deal. They train a lot in the garage. His brothers, his dad, of course, fought. And then originally the Penn brothers, they kind of were their own little team, before BJ went outside and went to AKA and then Jason Perillo. But it looks like a lot of the martial arts athletes that come from Hawaii, the genesis of it all is the family feel to the family theme, to their preparations for fights.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, I think nowadays a lot of fighters, they think that in order to make it to the big show, in order to stay on top, you need to leave your small team and join these bigger teams where they have big names, they have these famous coaches. But really, for me, I just remember where my roots are. Remember how I got to where I am today, and I don't feel any need to leave my team or leave my coach and just join another team. Everything that we've done so far has worked out great for us, and I'm very happy with where I'm at.
I asked Sergio Pettis this question about 2 months ago because he was also destined to pretty much be an MMA fighter following in his brother's footsteps, and he was a hybrid fighter from such a young age. I asked him, do you feel like in your late teens and early 20s, you just missed out on anything as far as like your development as a man, like, going out with buddies or just enjoying other aspects of life? Could you possibly have any form of a burnout and then still come back and complete your career? Like, have you ever wanted to take a break like that, or do you anticipate maybe wanting to take a break like that before you maybe get to your late 20s and early 30s? And I don't know, have you even thought that far ahead?
I have thought about it, but for me, I just always try to consider myself very blessed to be in the position that I'm at today. And also I don't feel that I don't really feel much burnout because every day when I go into the gym, I love what I'm doing. I genuinely love being a professional mixed martial artist, and I love fighting. And so I just feel lucky that I get to go into the gym every day and do what I love to do. And then I get to travel all over the world and bring my wife and bring my family with me to all of these places and fight, which I also love doing. So no burnout for me. I could do this for as long as I'm still walking.
And let me ask you one last question here. This is my last one. In Hawaii, we always hear about, look, when you're a Hawaiian youth, sometimes you just can't get away from the streets. They come calling, for somebody's trying to bully you or somebody just wants to get down. But you guys, being a traditional martial arts family, did you ever find yourself in that type of trouble? Or because your family was so involved in martial arts, were you left alone? And did that ever draw you just as a young youth, young dude with testosterone? You didn't want somebody to attack your family or your friends in any way. What was that like growing up for you?
For me growing up, my whole life was really on the mats. So I didn't have much time. I wasn't out on the streets. And, if you're around long enough, you're going to find trouble if you're just hanging out doing nothing. But I was always just brought into the gym to train. My parents were both martial arts instructors. And so, yeah, after school, it was straight to the gym, and we were just constantly there. We'd do our homework there, and then we'd help teach classes there. And then from there, we train. And so, really, as a kid, there wasn't much free time. But looking back, I'm grateful for it, because all the time that I would have spent elsewhere, I was spending it in the gym building my skills.
There you go. There's kids at home playing video games. They're champs at the video games. You're actually a champ in real life. So I think you definitely made the wise decision. All right. Well, Christian Lee, thank you so much for the time here on MMA Junkie Radio. We really appreciate it. And good luck on Friday. We're definitely going to be tuning in.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.